Yeah.
Yeah, we also have Rianj. They will be teaching you today. So, guys, can you just quickly introduce yourself and today's topic?
Hey everyone, I'm Vidina Heta and I'm a grade 11 student and I'm extremely passionate about technology, AI and all like math, science related subjects. So these are my teammates, Riyanch and Rudra, and we all are extremely excited to be with you here today. Um, so this session is called AI for everyone because we will basically be going through like AI, artificial intelligence, and just be briefing you all about everything. And because we believe that AI isn't just for like technology experts, it's for anyone who's curious, creative, and willing to learn. Yeah.
Is
Okay,
my
so
screen visible to everybody?
Yes,
yes,
it's visible.
okay. Yeah, so AI for everyone. So let's just start with the basics. So, what exactly is AI? So, AI stands for artificial intelligence, and it's a part of computer science that focuses on building machines or softwares that can think, learn, and solve problems like us humans do. And that means AI can understand what it sees and what it hears, like voice commands or images if you upload any images. It can learn from experience just like we do with practice. It can make smart decisions or predictions using data, and it can even communicate using human languages, several human languages. And you've all probably already interacted with AI like ChatGPT, Gemini. There are so many chatbots, and that brings us to our next slide. There are several chatbots and they have lots of users. So these are just a list of few of the chatbots. ChatGPT, Gemini, Microsoft Copilot, and they all have different users. Every job nowadays uses AI, and it's not AI is not taking their job for them. It's just they're using AI to help them. So for education, research, finance, data analysis, every field now uses AI, and there are several chatbots to help them do this. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Vidhi. So now I'll be talking about prompt engineering. So I have a question for all of you right here. If AI is so smart, then why doesn't it always give us the perfect answer, the correct answer? It can give us the correct answer, but the secret is in how we ask it to. This brings us to something which is known as prompt engineering. So, what is prompt engineering? Prompt engineering is basically the practice of designing and refining your input or your question, which is known as a prompt, to get the most accurate result output from any AI model like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, etc. Okay. So now why is prompt engineering so important? In today's life, AI is dominating the job market right now. More than 70% of jobs right now require AI in some way or other. And the main backbone of AI is through prompt engineering, writing code, via it be market analysis, any business ideas or anything. So now I'll be sharing with you a few tips on how to write good prompts. Firstly, be specific. Instead of just saying that I want to write an essay about global warming, give it a few outlines. The essay should be of 350 words. I'm a class 12 student. Give it some context or some background information. Secondly, it would be defining a role. AI is like a friend to us. We can tell him to like act as a data analyst or a business partner to give us the best info or the best advice possible. Thirdly, I'd ask you to break down the tasks. Instead of telling the AI your entire question in just one prompt, break that down into chunks so you get a shorter output and it's easier to read and basically comprehend that. The last and the most important tip I would like to give it is iterating it and refining it. Let's be honest, we won't get the perfect answer in just one go. So instead of just relying on that, we should constantly give it questions, refine the code, and then we can get a better output. So now here's an example of a good prompt versus a better prompt. So imagine you are a business owner and you want AI to give you some ideas about your campaign, whether it be any product. So we can write a prompt like list us 10 ideas for a campaign about a product. That will give you an answer, but that won't be helpful or informative at all. Now, on the other hand, if you describe your product, what does it do, and then tell that, give us 10 ideas for a marketing campaign that is directed towards a specific audience like Gen Z customers, that will give you a substantially different answer and not just a plethora of random information. So that's just about prompt engineering, guys.
So, thanks, Riyansh. Let's do a quick activity. So, I'll give you an example. Like, so a generic basic prompt is write about digital marketing. And when I refine it using all the tips we mentioned, it's act as a marketing trainer, explain what digital marketing is in simple language, give three real examples from Indian brands, and suggest two free online courses a student with no experience can take to get started. So now, after I've added all this context and all this extra information, and I've told them to act as a specific thing, I'll get a much better response, much clearer response, and you'll see a big difference. So, we want you to do an activity. So, this is a very basic prompt. Tell me about climate change. Now, your challenge is to improve it using at least three tips from the prompt checklist we used before and we shared with you before. And after you're done, you can share your refined prompts in the chat, and then you can like check on any platform like ChatGPT, Gemini to see the difference, and you can actually see how different it is. Yeah, can you just go to the tips so then they can yeah, your topic is um tell me about climate change, and now you have to make it a better prompt. So when you're done making it a better prompt, you can put it in the chat. And if you all have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Hi guys, this is just a suggestion. If you cannot access Chat GPT or any chatbot like that, you can just open WhatsApp and there's an inbuilt AI called Meta AI. You can just ask that AI on WhatsApp and it'll be really easy and it'll be quick.
You don't have to actually put the prompts right now in like any AI. You can do that later. Just work on how to actually write a good prompt, and that'll make it much easier for you. So if you could share some of your like prompts or any questions y'all have, y'all can feel free to ask. Okay, we can get back to this later at the end. I think let's move on for now. Y'all can send it whenever and we can go through them. But we did the same exercise using the same example as this, and these are the results. Riyan, can you go to, yeah. So these are the results. So when you can, when I asked simply, tell me about climate change, it gave a very simple answer. It's a correct answer, it's correct, but it gave a simple basic answer. Then I use the tips from the list that Riyan had shared before. Act as a science teacher, explain climate change in 5 bullet points using simple language for college level students. Make it sound serious. So this is what I sent, and they gave, I mean, you can't see the 5 bullet points on the screenshot, but they gave 5 detailed bullet points explaining it much better than they did before. So using this example, you can see the importance of using good prompts and the importance of prompt engineering.
Thank you, Vidhi and Riyansh. So now let's understand how artificial intelligence plays an important role in the field of education. Okay, so AI has been incredibly useful for education, not only for college, but for things way beyond. Let's understand that. Okay, so when we talk about AI in education, there are three main things that come in front of us. The first is research, second is concept explanation, and third is personalized learning. Let's break that down. First, that's called research assistance. So now, how will an AI help you research about climate change? What will you do? You'll go to Google, you'll ask what is climate change or tell me more about it, or you just visit Wikipedia articles, websites, blogs and stuff like that. how long will it take you? It'll take you about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or minimum 15 minutes, right? To go through all of the material, sort out the best material, and then use that to teach somebody else or to use that in your project or just understand the concept itself. Now, when you ask AI to summarize what the concept is, it'll tell you exactly what it is. It'll give you all of the resources, it'll give you all of the websites that it went through, and clear, concise, different definitions of the same topic so that you can understand it better. That's how quality research is done. Now, note, AI will not do the entire research for you, it will give you a blueprint on how to research for anything. So now, for example, let's take another example. If you want to pursue a course, right, for your bachelor's degree, for example, let's do AI engineering, right? That would be computer science. Now, if you want to study that, you'll go to Google and you'll search computer science degrees, right? And you'll come across so many websites that tell you so much about different type of degrees available, different universities. There's that a little bit of everything from everywhere. But if you asked an AI like ChatGPT or Meta or Gemini, it will give you all of the resources so that you know which are the best websites and which are the best courses that you can look at and save a lot of time. So that's research for you. Secondly, we have concept explanation. So personally, I use this a lot. If I don't understand a concept in maths or maybe English, or I just need to understand a timeline in history, I always make sure that I ask AI. And as Riyansh shared the list for prompt engineering, I use the best prompts, right? I take 15 minutes of my time and write a really good prompt so that it gives me all of the information very clearly and very efficiently. So I'll ask that, for example, teach me about, say, calculus, or just teach me how to do multiplication, right? Like I am 5 years old or 10 years old, and it will change its vocabulary into something so simple that it's just, so easy to understand anything. Right? You can ask it to break down so complex topics in such simple terms that it makes even a 5 year old able to grasp everything of that concept, right? So that's concept explanation for you. Third is personalized learning. So now AI can be used like a teacher, but the only difference is that teacher does not judge you on what kind of questions you ask, when do you ask those questions, and if you repeat the questions on and on and on again and again, it does not mind. If you ask it the same question 100 times, it will answer in 100 different ways. That's how personalized AI has become in the field of education. If you cannot grasp topics, for example, math topics, physics topics, or history topics, or even language topics easily, you can just ask it to change its way of teaching. You can ask multiple questions on the same thing and it'll give you different answers. So then it will understand that what is your speed of learning, what is the vocabulary that works best for you, and what should be the increase in difficulty while learning a concept, right? So for example, let's come back to the multiplication example. If you tell the AI that I want to learn how to do multiplication, right, what do you think will it will start as? It will first teach you addition, right? But if you don't know addition at all, you can just tell it that, I don't know how to do addition, but I want to learn multiplication, so personalize it for me. It will understand that, and it will break down the concept in such a way that, it's specifically tailored for you so that you can understand it better. Okay, so here's a fun fact. In 2023, a 13-year-old in India used ChatGPT to teach himself calculus months ahead of his school curriculum by asking it to explain tough concepts in simple ways, step by step, like a personal tutor that never gets tired. Now, here's another fun fact that ChatGPT does not only operate in English. You can ask it questions in Hindi as well, or I think a few vernacular languages as well, maybe Gujarati, maybe Marathi, and it will answer in your language. Okay.
Rudra, can you just talk about the first point again? Someone was asking for it.
Okay. Research, right? Okay. So for example, you have a project at college. Okay. So it's about you know, supply and demand, for example, and you need a few case studies for that, right? So now when you go to Google and you type supply and demand, you manually have to search for so many business models, like how different businesses work, what is supply, what is demand. You have to understand that yourself. You have to take the best pieces of information and put that in your project, whether it be a PPT or would it be notes or something like that. But what you have to do is you have to manually go through so many different sources and just find the best sources. It takes a lot of time, like finding the best thing for a concept. It will take more than 15 minutes if you do good research. You have to jump back from website to website, blog to blog, YouTube video to another. It takes up so much time, it takes up so much energy. So now a more efficient way of doing that will be AI. Okay, you just ask it that, hey, I'm doing research on this, or maybe just ask it like, just teach me about supply and demand, okay, and include a few case studies. So what will happen is it will give you an entire blueprint of what are the concepts in supply and demand, what are the businesses, business models that you can learn from in supply and demand, and familiar concepts about your I mean familiar things from your theme, which is supply and demand right here. Okay, so it will give you connections, all sorts of connections from your topic. It will tell you all of the websites that you should visit. It will list down all of the YouTube videos that you need to watch. Okay, and so it will give you an entire list. Like that list will be the best possible list from where you can get the best possible information. So imagine how much time you have saved. Like uh, if you would go to moneycontrol.com, you can see so many businesses right there. But for you to arrive at moneycontrol.com, how long would it take you, right? You start Google, you put in your question, you scroll through so many websites, you scroll through so many information pointers, right? So it takes a lot of time. But with research assistance from AI, it can just narrow down all of the things that you need to do, and voila, it's so easy. Danish, you've raised a hand. What's your doubt?
Yes, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you one thing that artificial intelligence and machine learning are basically made using Python language. Okay. As you now told, if I want a recipe from other website, I'm using AI to do this work. So suppose that website is made using Java or JavaScript or something else. So is AI like from Python, it is sufficient to go through all over the different cross platform, or do we need another programming languages also to integrate it to make it more efficient?
Okay, that's a very good question, Danish. So here's the thing now. AI, like, as we know of AI, they are majorly chatbots. Okay, so that can be ChatGPT, that can be Gemini, that can be DeepSeek, stuff like that. So these are chatbots, right? So now when irrespective of if they are made using Java or C or Python, they are integrated on the web, right? So it's a website that you can access. So you don't need to use any programming language or have it installed in your system or whatever to just use AI. Okay, and coming back to your question, if for example you want recipes from any website. Okay, so what you can do is just ask the AI that I want to make, for example, a sandwich. Okay, so now give me recipes from different websites. So irrespective, if it is made from Java, HTML, CSS, or some random website, it does not even matter what programming language that website is using, that blog is using. As long as it's there on Google, your work is done. It will give you all of the links that you want. It will list all of the YouTube videos that you need to watch. Everything it can give you, as long as it is there on the web. So you don't need Python or any kind of programming language knowledge. You just need to know how to uh, ask the right question. Okay.
Okay, great. Let's move on to another super important area where AI is making a huge impact, which is healthcare. So AI is helping doctors, hospitals, and even patients like us in ways we couldn't imagine in ways we couldn't imagine just a few years ago. So here's other several things it can do. It can analyze medical images like X-rays, MRI, CT scans, and sometimes they're much faster and like much faster and more accurately than human doctors. They can predict illnesses. They can organize hospital data to reduce human errors, making patient care more safe and more efficient. And they can even assist in robotic surgeries or talk to patients using AI chatbots for basic consultations. Now, these aren't just theoretical ideas. Here, like on the next slide, are four real life Indian examples where AI is already changing lives. These are four real life examples. So the first one is Niramay, and this is a deep tech health company using thermal imaging incorporated with AI to detect early stage breast cancer, and it's radiation free, low cost, and it makes it perfect for rural clinics. Easily available, and it works really well. It's incorporating AI. The next one is Cure AI. And this basically is a Mumbai based startup and it helped the BMC during COVID 19 a lot. It screened over 1 million chest x rays to detect signs of lung infections and prioritize high risk patients faster than normal manual processes which they were using earlier. The next one is WYSA. It's basically a mental health chatbot which uses AI to provide emotional support and lots of techniques. And during the pandemic, it gave free supports to frontline healthcare workers, which helped them cope with lots of stress and burnout. Lastly, there's Dosi. So Dosi basically it develops contactless vitals monitoring systems using AI, and it's placed in several government hospitals in Tamil Nadu. It basically tracks patient heart rates, respiration, oxygen levels, all of it without physical contact, which makes it much cleaner, safer, and it reduces the work for nurses a lot. And these are real solutions. They're already working in India. Yeah.
Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room. How does AI actually work? What is the technicality behind it? Okay, so let's understand. Uh, so here we'll understand AI technically and how does it learn. So, Danish, this is your forte, I think. Okay, so let's understand in three steps. The three main steps of AI would be learn, apply, and repeat. So let's understand. There's this classic example in the world of AI of cat images and dog images. So, for example, you have an AI which can, predict if any image that you supply is of a cat or a dog. Okay. So now, think of it like a student. How would that student become better in something? By learning. So how do we teach that AI? We teach that AI using data. Okay, so we have large data sets. Data sets are like boxes filled with data. What can be that data? Data can be anything. That can be text, that can be images, that can be video, that can be audio. It can be literally anything that you want the AI to learn. Okay, so here in this case, we'll have about more than 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh, or even more than 10 million images of cats and dogs, right? That's just the number required for training AI and making it really efficient. Okay, so here's a data. If just think that we have a data set which has about a million images, and each image is labeled if it's a dog or a cat. So we have dog and cat images, a million images, and they're labeled. So if it's a cat image, it's labeled as cat, and if not, then it's a dog. Okay. So now what happens is as it takes in all of the information, it stores that information. Okay. This is called machine learning. in simple terms, it stores all of the information and it finds out patterns, subtle patterns in the images. For example, cats have pointy ears, so that's one piece of information that it has with itself. Dogs have flappy ears, so that's another piece of information it has. Then cats are generally small, dogs are generally big. These are small things that it you just these are small patterns that it makes note of. So that's how it understands the difference between a cat and a dog. So these are the things that are saved inside the neural network. What is a neural network? It's basically, you can say it's like a web which contains all of this information. Okay. Then it repeats. So once it has all of the data, once it has figured out most of the patterns, then comes the prediction part. So you have to test that student, right? It has learned so many things, it has understood so many things. Now you need to make sure that it is accurate, it is not false. So now what you do is you ask it to predict the information, to predict the images. So now you give it an image either of a cat or a dog. What will it do is it will go through its library of the patterns that it has recognized. So if it's a dog, and if it has flappy ears, it'll give you the output as this is a dog. That's how it works. And if the image was labeled as a dog, then it will know that it was correct. And if not, then it knows that, okay, I'm wrong. So where did I go wrong? Like, what were the points that I missed? So what will it do is it will go back to its neural network, which was the web of all of the pointers, patterns, information that it has, and it will just change that a little bit. It'll say that, okay, this was a dog, but I said it was a cat, so what did I do wrong? So it will tweak its settings in such a way that the next time you give it that image, it will make sure to give you the correct answer. And you repeat this process so many times that the neural network, which is the web, it almost becomes so accurate that now any image that you give it, it will give you with a high accuracy the answer that if it's a dog or it's a cat. So this is a really classic example in the world of AI. Of course, this is not how all AIs work, but this is a really basic one. So the chatbots that we interact with today, that is ChatGPT, Gemini, Meta, etc., they are text-based algorithms. Okay, text-based, and they also have the ability to recognize images. That's a subtype of it. But it's like integrating so many different types of AI in one AI, which you can use to power up yourself. So that's how AI works. Let's go through that again. It learns from a lot of data, it finds the patterns, and finally it predicts what the answer might be. Okay. So, if you're interested in AI a lot, okay, these are a few courses and research places where you can find out more about this. So we have a free course. It's called AI for Everyone by deeplearning.ai, which is also connected to Stanford University. So this is an online course. You can go through it and it's really helpful. We have AI Essentials by Google, and we have Better Prompts for AI by Harvard. So these are the QR images. Take a screenshot, and in your free time, you can visit all of the sources.
Okay, guys, so we are almost done here. But before concluding, there's one main thing we want all of you to remember. See, from the slides, you may seem that AI is just for tech-savvy people or experts or like coders, but that's not the case. AI is for everyone, whether it be students, creators, job seekers. Even my 90-year-old great grandmother can use AI if she knew how to type. But the point we're trying to make is AI can help you learn faster, work smarter, and solve real life problems, whether it be in education, healthcare, business, and beyond. I can go on listing many advantages of AI and it still won't be enough. But having said that, there's one main thing: AI needs to be used responsibly with ethics, awareness, and creativity. So that's pretty much all about it. If you all have any other questions, you can ask us, or we can just try out your prompts in ChatGPT. you all have sent that in the chat box.
Does anyone have any questions for us? And we'll answer them now. Otherwise, we can move on to testing out all of your prompts because they're all looking really good.
Hi, does anyone have any questions? Um, who is putting all the prompts? Like, can I know the name?
It's Rudra.
Oh, so Rudra is only like you're presenting and you're putting. Perfect. So can Vidhi and Rayansh, or till Rudra is putting in all the prompts, can you quickly work on a quiz based on your presentation? Like take out some questions that you can ask the kids
Yeah,
later. Like multiple choice questions you can prepare. Okay, Rudra, you can continue with searching their prompts.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go through the chat box. Okay, so there's a chance I might not see your prompt, so please resend your prompts if possible so that I can make note of that.
Oh, Rudra, I can just send them to you 1 second.
Okay. All right, I'll go through the chat box and yeah. Okay, we have our first prompt by Durgeshwari and Madhuri KNF. Uh, Here is the prompt. Oops, just a second. Just a second. No problem. The paste isn't working. I'll type it out. As a research expert at okay, so that's a good prompt. Look, the prompt was really nice, and here is what we got. Okay, so let's analyze this. Uh, Here are the key points, bullet points. Now, you see, bullet point method is one of the best methods that you can use. It just cuts short all of the extra fillers and it gives you the proper facts, as they are. So here's the thing. What is global warming? A straight answer, right? Human activities which affect that, a straight answer. Uh, yeah, so it's all of the information is given pretty accurately.
Okay. I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Rudra.
Yeah.
So today in our session, we learned about how we can use ChatGPT or like any AI chatbot to our use and effectively to, do our work. But something that we also need to keep in mind is when you do your higher studies, like even after your 11th, 12th grade, you'll go to college. There's something called plagiarism while you do your projects and write your essays. Okay. So that is something that we really need to keep in mind. So right now in front of us, ChatGPT has given us bullet points. It is something that we can look into, but at the end, whatever we are writing cannot be a copy paste answer. For example, someone has written for 11th class college project. if you copy from chat gpt and put exact answers, like if you copy your answers and put the exact answer from chat gpt into your essays or your projects, then it will be called plagiarism. And ai plagiarism in today's date, it is very dangerous to say, and also you can be highly penalized, like your grade can be highly penalized if you do so. So something, yeah, exactly. So there are detectors which your professors and teachers can use, and they will know if you are using chat gpt or not in your answer. It is if whatever you're writing is your own knowledge or not. So chat gpt is very useful. Like personally, I'm also like in college right now, and chat gpt is very useful. It can help you summarize your research, it can help you articulate your research better, it can help you write things better. But at the end of the day, whatever you are writing and whatever you are submitting and presenting should be your own, like your own generation and your own words. So right way to use chat gpt, as told by our group members also, is to use it for research, to know it, to know what's happening around you better, and maybe to solve daily life tasks. Like I am facing difficulty with something, I'll get my answer. If I'm not able to understand a particular topic, I'll put that topic out of my textbook into chat gpt, ask them to explain me better. And once I'm able to understand, like once chat gpt is, for example, I'm facing difficulty in my calculus class, I'll go to chat gpt and I'll ask that, can you please explain how like these sums can be solved. But at the end of the day, I will have to solve these sums on my own. So you cannot always rely on ChatGPT. So something that you always should keep in mind from now on is something called plagiarism, which is using someone else's work and showing it as your own. So it goes against the guidelines of a lot of colleges. Like personally in my college also, they're not like, we have to write a lot of essays, like instead of exams we have essays. So once we submit our essays, and like if they find that there is more than 20% of text is ai, then we get penalized, our grade is cut, we fail the course. So yeah, just that. Now you can continue, Rudra.
Yeah, so that was a really good point. I think I missed that. But yeah, as I said in the research part, what you need from AI would be only the bullet points. Bullet points are like the important keywords that you need to include in your project. Now, of course, you cannot copy paste the whole thing. Maybe because plagiarism is illegal, like it's like literally an illegal thing to do in so many colleges, and you can lose your college, your scholarship, or you can just get an F straight up. You can fail in the class if they're really strict about it. uh Another point is, you need to be morally correct, right? I mean, here you'll copy paste stuff from chat gpt into your projects, but like it's visible, right, that it's ai language. Like for example, let me just try. For example, this is your ppt. You have decided you do not need to do any original work, and you just copy paste the entire thing. Now here is a very simple ai text detector on the web. Now I have copied your project, I will paste it over here, and let's see how much it can detect. Look, it's like in a second it knew that it was AI. It was not a human writing, right? So this is like a way to get an F in college, right? This is the wrong method. The only things you need AI for are bullet points, places where you can research more. And from these bullet points, for example, the first is more intense and frequent heat waves. So what you can do is, look, it has given you an example, record-breaking heat waves across Europe and India in recent years. So now you know what to research on. Okay, heat waves in Europe and India. So you can go to Google and you can, go to all of the websites that have these kind of articles. So that's some good information, that like some fact-based information that you can use, okay, in your projects, in your assignments, or just for understanding stuff in general. That's how bullet points are extremely useful. Okay. Yeah, so if anybody has any questions, okay, here's a good prompt by Sania. Tell me about climate change happened in Mumbai in last 3 months in 20 sentences with simple language. That's really smart. Let me put that into ChatGPT. Tell me about climate change happened in Mumbai in last 3 months in 20 sentences with simple language. Okay, so like this is a good prompt. You can tell that by just looking at it. You're asking about a specific topic at a specific location, and you're giving it a timeline. And this is a really good thing, asking it to summarize in 20 sentences or less, and with easy language. So the thing about prompts is like the longer and the more detailed your prompt is, the better answer you'll get. If you just say that, list all of the climate change related things in Mumbai, uh, yeah, you don't give it a timeline, you don't give it limits, it will give you literally everything, like all of the articles that are available on the web, or so much. It's like it's so long, you just lose interest in reading it, right? But let's see what do we get when we put this prompt. So it's searching the web. That means that it is going through so many websites. You saw the websites, right? So look, Times of India, Khabar Galan, then Economic Times, and so many different websites it went through. And look, this is like so amazing. It gave you 20 sentences, all are packed with facts. Okay, so now you can research on every single fact one by one, and it is so easy to research when you know what you are researching about. So here's the thing: Mumbai has experienced extreme weather conditions in past 3 months, obviously. Temperature changes, that's 38 to 39 degrees Celsius. Yeah, 5 to 6 above normal. So, in your projects, you can add these subtypes, these points, and you can paraphrase it. So, what you can do is, AI has told you something. It's a small thing, right? But you need to make the answer bigger, right? You have to give some input. So what will you do? You know that in early April, these are the temperatures. So you can put an input. For example, April is when summer starts. So and then you can put graphs and stuff like that. So you can ask AI again that if in this year this is the range of temperature. What was the range last year? What was the range 5 years ago? What was the range 10 years ago? Or you can even ask it, what was the range 50 years ago or 100 years ago? It will give you the data, and that looks really good on a project or a PowerPoint presentation. So this is how you can get really good fact-based, narrowed down research when you put just the right prompts. Okay, so let's go through another thing. Many low-lying areas like Kurla, Dadar, Sion, Andheri subway were flooded. Okay, so you can add this as a case study. So you can go to the website. Okay, look. Um, so look, here is the website mentioned up, like beside the point. So this is the point. Here is the website. So now you know where to research from. When you go to this website, I hope you can see the website. Is it visible?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So see, you can see the website. You can see the images, and this is how you research. Now go through this website, and now you won't be wasting time when you go through this website. Why? Because you already know that this website has all of the information that you need. So any a piece of information that you get, it's good information, it's correct information, and even ChatGPT told you that it's correct information. So you can just get a few points, write them down in your assignment, present your thoughts, and voila, you're done with original research. Okay, you have not plagiarized from anywhere, you just asked AI how to research, where to research from, and that's smart work. Okay, so yeah, it has given you 20 different prompts with so many sources. So you can check the sources from here. If you click on sources, look, so many sources. Wikipedia, Indian Express, Free Press Journal, Business Standard, so many news websites. Okay. Okay, let's go
Yeah.
through.
Um, Hi, sorry to interrupt again. Like wonderfully explained, Rudra. I appreciate it. Uh, like you were on point with how you can make it in your own research. Just again, like some things to remember while you're doing your assignments. So there's something called a reliable source, and then there's something called source that you cannot rely on. So one of the source that I can straight up tell you is not reliable when you're doing high level of research is Wikipedia. But on the other hand, if we quote from Times from India or the Economic Express, these are some reliable resources. And rightly said by Rudra, like this, by putting a prompt like this, you get a lot. Like that is like a way to research, and it is a very good way to research. You put down the prompt, and then it will give you links to all these websites and all these articles that you can then read, and then you can understand, and then you can take your own points, put it in quotes, and then at the end of the essay just mention in your bibliography or like sources that these are the sources from where I have taken my data. That is how you present a research which is your own. Like I again I'm saying Rudra explained it very wonderfully. So yeah, like just repeating what you were saying, um just one more point to add is to always put your whatever you're taking from anywhere. Like the only way to not get plagiarized for something, if you're taking any information from anywhere, just put it in quotes, and at the end of the essay mention that the source, ki this particular point was taken from this particular article. And one source that you should never rely on is Wikipedia. Otherwise all the sources here are very good.
Correct. So it's good that you highlighted this point. It went out of my head. Wikipedia, right? So here we have a problem. We cannot get information from Wikipedia. What will we do? We'll just tell ChatGPT that don't give me points from Wikipedia. So here I go. Let's say don't give me points from Wikipedia. Use trusted sources only. Never mind the typo. It understands everything. If you write the wrong words, it'll understand everything. It's just so smart. Yeah, so see, now we have specified that we don't want information from Wikipedia. There's a chance that it might be wrong, but as you know, it gives you all of the sources right over here. So you just go to the sources and you can see all of the sources here. So there's news, right? New, and then here's Indian Meteorological Department. So many information points over here, not Wikipedia, however, right? There are government websites, there are all sorts of websites. So now here's one thing. If I was in your place, I would be wondering that there are so many things to keep in mind when you are making an assignment for college, or making a project for your college. So how do I do research? Well, guess what? Ask that to ChatGPT as well. How do I do proper research for my college assignments? Okay, and let's specify. Let's create a good prompt. Okay, 10 points, short explanation. Uh, yeah, short explanation. And what else can we think of? We need to make it, really specified. So say 12th grade research. Okay, 12th grade, no Wikipedia, etc. So like
Maybe we
these
can
are the
also mention the subject we want to, like, is it a STEM research or like
huh, right, exactly.
social research?
Yeah. So, you can put in, yeah, exactly that. So, for example, let's just say we are doing STEM research. That's enough prompts. I think it will give you a lot of things to read about, and you can just narrow down from then and there. So look, here it goes. How to do proper research, STEM edition. So now it'll tell you what to do. So firstly, you need to understand the assignment clearly. Okay, you can do that by just asking AI again that what is the topic about? Teach that to me. Somewhere if you just use the AI tool smartly, you can just make your project just from ChatGPT and the internet. That's it. But of course, not plagiarizing from ChatGPT, but taking proper guidance from ChatGPT. Okay. Second, start with reputable sources, right? So not Wikipedia, as ma'am said. Use government websites, then search using keywords. Okay, skim abstract and summaries, take notes, date, check credentials, etc. So 10 precise points on how to do research. Okay, so AI is like a smart friend. You can use it like a smart friend. It knows everything. It is willing to talk to you. It will not tell you that, don't ask me the same question again and again and again. I'm bored or whatever. It'll give you different answers every single time, custom tailored to how you want. Okay. Let's do that. Okay. I'll ask it again. I don't.
Um,
Rudra,
there's a
let's move
question.
on to the
I think we
quiz.
can move on to the quiz.
Okay. All
Yeah.
Yeah.
right. All right. That's
Also,
fine.
there's a question in the chat if anyone of you want to take it.
Yeah, okay. So generative AI is basically a type of artificial intelligence that can create new content like images, music, text, videos, or even code. And that it basically works by learning patterns from existing data. So it learns from the data, it finds patterns and rules, and it creates new content based on what it's learned, like writing a new story or drawing a picture from scratch. And there are several examples. Like even ChatGPT generates like it can generate images, it can generate human like text responses. There are several, even Runaway I think is one generative AI. It's like a super smart computer in simple words that learns from a lot of examples and then makes something new that didn't exist before. That's in simple words, that's what generative AI is. Does that answer your question?
Tanish, was it helpful? Yeah, I think we can
Yeah,
move
yeah,
on
he
to the.
gave a thumbs up.
Okay,
Okay,
perfect.
okay. So let's go on to the quiz
Rudra, can you
now.
go to the no?
We have a short 5 question quiz. Um, yeah. Just one sec. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Yes.
Um, so this is the first question. What does AI stand for? This is quite simple, so everyone can just answer in chat. I can see a lot of y'all are answering B. Anyone thinks it's anything different? No? Okay, well, y'all are correct, so that's great. Okay, the next question is which field is AI used in? Wow, all of y'all are really quick. Um, yeah, so all of y'all have said D. Does anyone think it's any other option? No? Yeah, well, y'all are right. It is used in all of the above. It's used in healthcare, like we saw before. It's used in education, as we also saw before, and business. It's used basically, it's used in all fields, actually. But yeah. Okay, the next one. What is prompt engineering? Well, some people are saying A, some people are saying B. Okay, so the answer is actually B. It's not A, it's not writing code. It's basically learning how to give better instructions to AI to get the best possible response. And we did it before and we saw several examples. Writing, it's not writing code, but it's giving better instructions. Yeah, okay. The next is what type of prompt gives better results? I think all of y'all have answered B, which is correct. A clear and specific prompt gives you the best results. If it's a short one with no details, it will give you a correct response, but it'll give you a poor response. It won't be the best. If it gives you, if you give a confusing question, it won't understand what you're saying and it won't be able to give you a response. And if you write just one word, again, it's not gonna know what you're saying, and if it's not specific, then you're not gonna get the best results. So it's B, a clear and specific prompt. And the last one is, what are the 3 steps in how AI works? I think most of y'all have answered C, which is also the correct answer. So y'all have done amazingly well. And that was it for the quiz. Thank you so much. And feel free to ask any other questions.
So, does anyone want to ask anything? Anything about today's session?
You can raise your hand, you can ask in the chat also.
If you want to ask something, if you want to share something. Yes, Angel. Yes, Tapsi and Angel. First, let Angel go.
Okay, so I wanted to say thank you because I learned a lot about AI prompts today. I use ChatGPT, but I'm not sure that we have to do this much work, and it will make my job really easier. So thank you so much for that, and it's a really amazing session. I learn a lot of things. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angel. Means a lot to us.
Tapsi and Angel.
Yes, so I just want to say thank you because um, it was really amazing session and very interested. Like I also interested in AI and it was really good. And I don't know about that Wikipedia gave us uh, wrong like answer. Yeah. So thank you.
Okay, great. Sanya and Saloni.
Uh, yes, please. So I just want to say, like for generating AI, if we are giving instructions to on ChatGPT, it creates image.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add that, and that's it. Thank you for the class. Like we learned a lot about how to use ChatGPT.
Oh, wait. Saloni.
Yes, you give us very good information. So I'm really grateful. Thank you so much.
It's so nice to hear, Saloni. Also, there's last question which we'll take. It's in the chat box if someone wanna answer.
I'll take that. It's fine. So
Yeah.
Krishna is asking, is it possible to code AI like humans' pattern of working brain? How randomly humans' brain inspired and find patterns in each and everything around, surrounding, or beyond just random inspiration. Yeah, this is really great now. Nowadays, there are so many AIs which are like specifically designed for coding. So you can just ask it, to create a specific Python code, HTML code, Java code, C code, any kind of code that you want. Just tell it what you want to do, and it will give you code. So yeah.
Okay, perfect. I think we can end the session now. I will just stop the recording.